Hey, let's do this quick for me, right? Close your eyes for a second. So I want to take you to America. Think about automotive cities. What city coming to your mind? I'm sure you're thinking about Detroit, right? Excellent. Now, same question for Africa. Think about automotive cities. What comes into your mind? Is it Lagos, Nairobi, Cape Town? Open your eyes. What do you have in mind? What cities? I bet you be confused, right? You didn't know too much, right? And that's the reason we're here. This week I'm going to be going to Tangier. I will be attending the Regional Green Economy Forum, and I wanted to take you behind the scene of one of Africa's most underappreciated industrial revolution. Because why the world is actually talking about how to go green, there's a country quietly building green, especially when it comes to electric vehicle. And my question today is very simple. Could Tangier become Africa's Detroit? Or maybe something better? That's what we're going to be debating today. See you in a minute. Hey, how are you doing? My name is Tony. I'm the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa. What we do is very simple. We raise awareness about renewables energy and sustainability. So if you are looking to expand into Africa, we are your eco-bridge to this market. And we can help you with visibility, with leads, but also deals. Or if you say you want to decarbonize, we again are your eco-bridge to sustainable pathway. And we can help with carbon footprint assessment and carbon reduction strategy. So I want to talk to you about this country, Morocco, is doing fantastic. But first of all, let's have a bigger picture to understand what is really happening in this country. So what I'm going to do is just going to run a very short video for you to understand what it's all about. And after that, I'll come back and talk to you about Tangier, right? But first of all, let's have this broad understanding. What is actually happening in Morocco? I talked about electric vehicle. So what is that all about? So let's have this better understanding. And after that, as I say, we could see what is happening in Tangier.
Industry is driving a green revolution. The country is the leading car manufacturer in Africa, with 260 automotive suppliers and the ability to produce 960,000 cars annually. It now has its sights set on the electric vehicle and battery industry, revealing plans for a $1.28 billion gigafactory. The plant will produce 20 gigawatts per hour by 2026, with plans to expand to 100 gigawatts per hour. 100 million EVs will be on the roads by 2026, and Morocco is well placed to meet this demand, investing $2.2 billion in the battery supply chain and $321 million in cathode production. It's all part of the country's larger mission toward a cleaner future. 38% of its power capacity is already based on renewables and is targeting 52% by 2030. From its skies to its streets, this green shift is driving Morocco now.
Okay. So that is actually what I wanted you to see. So you can see Morocco is definitely, plunging ahead, right? So that's very fantastic. Now, Tangier. So I talked about Tangier. Tangier, what you need to know is it's a beautiful coastal city, and it's also Morocco top industrial hub. And here is why, in case you didn't know, right? So Tangier Automotive Cities, I want to talk to you about that. It's a huge 300 hectares industrial zone, which is focusing on car manufacturing powered by renewables. That's what I want to say. Renault mega plant, that's one of the largest car factories in Africa. So they position about 400,000 vehicles a year. If you think about that, and zero carbon emission, that's actually great, right? You have Tangier Med Sport, right? That's one of the largest container ports, strategically linking Europe, Africa, but also the Middle East. You can see how strategic this position is, right? And why other countries, are still drafting about electric mobility strategies. Morocco in here is already building the infrastructure, and Tangier is really leading the charge, right? And they really building, as what we have here, an electric vehicle ecosystem. But the thing is, it's not just Renault, which is there, which obviously builds something very interesting. You also have new player coming in. So there has been a recent MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, between Morocco and Chinese EV battery giants, so Goshen High Tech, to develop what? A gigafactory near Rabat. So it will be for the news. But there's also be building EV component manufacturing, right? So it's expanding. You have companies, Tangier, that are building in here. So electric axles, the battery pack, but also charging system. And also what they've been benefiting from here is government support, which is particularly strong. You know, the country, Morocco, has a target of 52% renewables energy in its mix by 2030, and it makes it easier for green factory to thrive. So you can't run a factory if you don't have obviously a workforce, right? And this is what also the country is betting on. And you have institutions like the Institut de Formation aux métiers et de l'industrie automobile in Tangier. They are training the next generation of EV engineers, right? So this is an entire industrial ecosystem. It's not just one factory, but it's just a full policy, and that is actually coming together to make it work and to make it much more impactful. And as I was talking to you about the potential comparison with Detroit here, and yes, there's clearly a case here that we could make, because what they're building, it's industrial center. They're talking about as well large scale vehicle production. I told you about 400,000 vehicles a year. That's huge. So work for education, they're strongly investing into. So global export capabilities, like I say, is well positioned, linking Africa with Europe, but also Middle East. So you could see this is why I believe Morocco is really doing something great, especially Tangier. Like I say, I'm very excited to be going there this week, so I'll be able to see that for myself. But to give you an idea, right? But I also believe that Tangier and Morocco specifically also have the opportunity to actually leapfrog the Detroit legacy. So why am I saying that, right? So Detroit was powered by oil, yeah? And Tangier here is powered by sun and wind. It makes it even more cleaner. So it has strong potential here. So Detroit also kind of collapsed under the industrial decline. And Tangier here is building with resilience and clean energy at its core. And what we should not forget is Morocco doesn't really have oil. This is a country, this is betting big on industrialization without fossil fuel. And again, I want to come back to that, because time and time again, I've heard this argument with clean energy, we can industrialize. Do Africa need fossil fuel to industrialize? Yes, Africa needs fossil fuel to industrialize, but Africa can also industrialize with renewables. And this is really the point I really want to stress. And the example of Morocco, for me, it's game changing. It shows people that it is possible. You just have to, as I usually say, make a decision. When you make a decision, you can see how things come forward, and you can look at examples that are actually moving in this direction. So what does all of that mean for Africa? Let's talk about that. Okay, guys, so what does it mean for Africa? That's a very good question. So I talked about the local EV manufacturing that is possible, yeah. So you can see that with Tangier. So you don't have to wait for Tesla, BYD to come in. You can actually start building your own and developing the environment, the policy, creating an ecosystem that would sort of attract all the key players to come and obviously and build such EV manufacturing in your country. Yeah, so that's what you need to know. You need to know that you need to have long-term policy that really favor the sector. And you could also see from this example from Tangier and also Morocco that green growth is profitable. You can see that Tangier is actually thriving. It proved that sustainability and industrialization, are working. And I also want to talk about talent. So you can't build all of that if you don't have the right talent. So you need to be investing, just like Morocco is doing, in skills, and it's paying off. So it means that if you're an entrepreneur, this is for me an opportunity that you want to be looking at. You want to plug into supply chain. So if it's a government, that's a model that you may want to replicate. And if you're young people, so there's a reason to believe that green future is also a prosperous one for you. And I'm showing you this kind of example for you to be able to see and know where to go and look for opportunity and know what to do as well. So I've been in Tangier this week, as I say, so attending the Regional Green Economy Forum, and I've been doing the best I can to shave and more on the ground. Because if you're passionate about Africa's industrial future, about clean energy, about electric mobility. So that's the time for you to tune in, and I'll be making sure that I share much more information with you. So for the time being, if you haven't done so yet, you want to subscribe, you want to like, you want to comment, and I'll be giving you all the insight that you need. And I want to know, before I leave, with everything I share with you, do you actually believe that Tangier could be Africa's Digital, or maybe something better? Let me know in the comment, and I'm more than happy to discuss that with you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.